Do you have a water softener in your home to help reduce hard water problems? Do you currently own a water ionizer, or are you looking to get one sometime in the near future? If so, you're not going to want to miss this important video where I'm going to answer the question, can I use my water ionizer if I have a water softener? I say important because many of my own customers are using a water ionizer with tap water that comes directly from a water softener and have no idea that they're in a potentially dangerous situation. I'll explain why in a minute, but real quick, if you're looking to get a powerful 9-plate water ionizer that's also a molecular hydrogen generator, stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you how you can save $450 off a brand new Alkaviva Vesta H2 water ionizer like the one you see here. Now, let's talk about water softeners. If you're not familiar with the term, hard water is tap water that contains a high concentration of dissolved minerals like magnesium, calcium, iron, and so on. And hard water can wreak havoc on your plumbing fixtures and appliances like your water heater, washing machine, dishwasher, coffee maker, your ice maker. It also makes your skin feel dry and your hair feel slimy and makes all of your clothes feel scratchy and look dingy. If you have hard water, you'll know it because you'll have this white scale buildup on everything that the tap water touches. So if you do have hard water, a water softener can be a godsend to help protect your home from all the hard water damage. But there's a big problem when you hook up your water ionizer to water that's been treated by a water softener. Let's take a quick look at how a water softener actually works. A water softener is an appliance that's known as an ion exchange system and is usually comprised of two separate tanks. One tank contains resin beads that are responsible for exchanging the hard minerals that come into your home and exchanges them for salt. The other tank contains the actual salt that you would need to refill from time to time. As the hard water passes over the resin beads, the hard water minerals like calcium will be attracted to the resin beads and changes places with the salt that's currently on the resin beads. That salt then mixes with the water, and that's what's sent into your home. After the beads are coated in hard water minerals, the system will backflush itself with more salt water that comes from the tank that contains the salt, and it flushes all of the hard water minerals down the drain. So basically putting salt back in the resin beads so that it can start the process all over again. So after the water is softened, it then travels through all the pipes into your home to feed your sinks, toilets, showers, and your other appliances. So remember, you never want to drink water that comes directly from a softener because it contains a lot of salt. In which case, most people with a softener have a reverse osmosis system in their kitchen so they can filter out all of the salt from the softener. So not only shouldn't you drink softened water, but you definitely don't want to hook up your ionizer to soften water because you end up creating water that can actually be poisonous. Let me explain that one. In a previous video, I explained how an ionizer works. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll post a link right up here so you can check that out. Now, you're probably already aware that salt is sodium chloride, which is made by pairing a sodium ion and a chlorine ion. When water goes through ionization, it splits the water into hydroxide and hydrogen, and the alkaline side contains more hydroxide ions. When you send softened water, which is salt water, through an ionizer, the ionization process will disassociate the sodium and the chlorine, meaning separate them. The sodium ions will then merge together with the hydroxide ions from the water, forming sodium hydroxide. Another name for sodium hydroxide is lye. You know lye, the stuff used for cleaning clogged drains? Lye is a caustic substance and can be poisonous if ingested in enough quantity. Therefore, the higher the setting on your machine, the more powerful the ionization process. And the more powerful the ionization process, the more sodium hydroxide will be created. And you definitely don't want to drink sodium hydroxide in any concentrated form, which is literally drinking lye. Another bad thing happens when you send softened water through a water ionizer. The other side of the salt compound is chlorine. When chlorine is disassociated from sodium in a water ionizer, the free chlorine atoms will bond together to form Cl2 molecules. Cl2 is chlorine gas, and if you're not already aware, chlorine gas can be poisonous in high concentrations. The stronger the ionization level of your ionizer, the more chlorine gas will be created. You can tell the smell of chlorine gas because it smells like bleach. This is why some of my customers that have had their ionizers hooked up to a water softener will complain that their water smells like chlorine and wonder why the filter isn't removing chlorine like they expected. It's not the filter, it's the water softener. And by the way, some softeners use potassium-based salts instead of sodium-based. The same caution applies. But instead of creating sodium hydroxide, your ionizer will create potassium hydroxide, which is just as caustic as sodium hydroxide. The only safe water softener you can use with a water ionizer is a salt-free water softener, in which case none of these warnings apply. If you're looking for a good salt-free softener to use with your water ionizer, I'll post a link in the description below where you can check one out that I recommend. So, to answer the question, can I use my water ionizer if I have a water softener? The answer is no. Not unless you want to drink lye or create chlorine gas for everyone in your home to inhale. So that leads to another question. If I have a water softener, how can I use my water ionizer? There's only one thing you can do in that situation, and that's put a reverse osmosis system in front of your water ionizer. That's exactly what I'm using in my house. The RO system will remove everything from the water, including all the salt. Then a remineralization cartridge will put the correct amount of minerals back into the water before the water is sent to the ionizer. With that setup, you'll have perfectly safe and clean alkaline drinking water that tastes great and has all the benefits that a water ionizer has to offer. If you'd like to take a look at a reverse osmosis system that's configured to work with your ionizer, I'll post a link in the description below to one that I recommend. Alright, as I mentioned in the beginning, if you'd like to have a look at the Vesta H2 water ionizer and save $450 off the retail price, take a look at the description below. I'll post a link there where you can get that discount. Also, make sure to post any questions you have in the comments section below about this video or anything else. And check back every Wednesday for a new video. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking this big round subscribe button right here, and you can check out my other Water Ionizer Wednesday videos by clicking either one of those right over there. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.